Yeah. If I bugger this up as I go along, just roll with it. I'm going to start at the beginning of part 3 of the book, because it means something for me. After hearing that, I wish I'd have put something a little bit funnier in or a little bit more action-packed in. But there is a lot of craziness in the book. It is not politically correct. There is a lot of swearing. There is a bit of filth. And a lot of fun, I hope. But if you buy the book, you can sit back and read it in your own time and giggle your tits off. Yeah? Which is the hope, I guess. So, part 3. Dookie and the Fat Boys attack. After all the time that had passed, the long, arduous walk to freedom, the years at Helmart, the party of light, and the global tour of ripping, shit-eating, money-grabbing demons from the arses of the weak-willed, our hero sits, sleeping in his favourite brown leather chair, with his missus by his side, both snoring like a pair of foghorns blasting out from a coastal ship. Dookie rattles out an almighty snorting snore and wakes his better half. She leans over and wallops him across the shoulder. "Bah! You woke me up, you noisy sod," she says to him. He grunts and groans, stretches his arms and legs out, jumps up from his slumber and heads to the kitchen. "Tea? Coffee?" he shouts. "Tea," she replies. So he makes her tea and himself a cup of joe and returns to his chair. As he sips at his cup, he tells his wife he dreamt he freed his boy and got him back to Dragon Valley safely. She smiles and swigs her hot tea, but Dookie can't help it. He can't let that idea go. As he sits in his chair, he ponders, did his boy make it? Did he hold on to the light and become a decent man? Or did he cave in to his captor, Aska? Dookie looks to his good wife for advice, and without him even saying a thing, she stands up and says, "Well, if you're going to find out, you're going to need a fucking army." Dookie smiles and replies, "No, love, not for this mission. Muscles are required. Intelligence not essential. Marine. That's all I need, not some fucking army." The little Duncan hears this from Dookie's top pocket and immediately gets into planning mode. He jumps from the safety of his hiding place and onto the end table next to where his pal is sitting, breaks out his tablet and lets his contact know there's another mission on the horizon. He lets them all know this one is personal. He gives them the lowdown on the situation with Dookie's boy and the mammoth challenge facing the now out-of-shape Dookie. The years of weightlifting his darkness into light and fighting arse demons have taken their toll on our hero. His knees don't bend, his neck cracks, his ankles cave under the body weight of the brute above them, not to mention the torn ligaments and muscles and unattended bone fractures from the year of fighting and weightlifting too. Duncan digs into recon over the next few weeks, scouring the net for greenback land info. Dookie spends the same time following the diminutive Duncan's advice. He starts stretching and getting his many little injuries, aches and pains sorted at physios, and goes on a diet. Tups makes contact through the usual channels straight away and deposits a large sum of money in the adventure account Dookie uses for his missions. He also follows that up with a shipment of pickled goods stored in his new range of long-life plastic containers, perfect condiments to go with the MREs Dookie will supply for the mission. Getland throws his hat in the ring as usual, always up for a fight these days. Vin Hoysin also makes contact to say he will begin his travel to Dragon Valley from the Vatican with immediate effect. Duncan's research starts to bear fruit. Greenback's land has now been overthrown. It's now run by an orange greenback, the self-proclaimed king of the greenbacks, Tumpy Tump. Duncan also delves into the greenback land sponsored social media platforms like Fakebook, Twatter and Clipclop to find out what the narcissist and celebrity addicted weirdos were saying about him, the Tumpy Tump. And most importantly, what kind of filters they were putting on their desserts. Right. We'll take a quick rundown of Duncan. Duncan is a little fella. Not much is known about Duncan due to his small stature. He goes unnoticed for the most part, a tool he has used to his advantage. His tail of the tape. Height, 5 inches. Weight, one of those feathers they use to make pillows. His penis name is Donuts. Skill base, tactical warfare and rubber band flicking. After being bullied at school for his diminutive nature, Duncan tried to get work for years but could never be seen during the interview, so never gained real employment. Using all the might in his little arms, he taught himself how to type and found the dark web. There, he downloaded plans and passcodes for government buildings, banks, and a local toy shop. He now has access to all government records, a small bank account. He deposits 0.05% of stolen interest from a multinational arms dealer's account, and gets a new ride-on car every year of his choice. He now lives with Dookie as chief of staff and finds comfort in Dookie's top shirt pocket, where he has the ear of his best pal. Duncan creates a profile for Tumpy Tump and passes it on to Dookie. Tumpy Tump. This old wacky fella has seen it all. From breakfast in bed to delivered lunch burgers from his favourite Golden Arches, he's eaten it all. He likes to order kiddie-sized cheeseburgers and pretend it's the biggest burger you can order due to his midget hand complex. Before uniting large swathes of less educated and well-off greenback clans to conquer a vast majority of the central lands, Tumpy Tump ran a chain of seedy motels and strip joints. His tail of the tape. He's 6 foot. His weight. He's very, really average. No, honest, he's the most perfect weight he can be. Actual weight, 23 stone or 322 pounds. Penis name, Stumps. Colour, orange. Habits, nose picking and pussy grabbing. Talents, he's always right. He has a pet leech called Cafefe. Best pal, the megalomaniacs, Poo Stinks. Combat. If anyone says he isn't right, he publicly flogs them and uses the tears from his tiny crying eyes to burn parts of their skin off. Then sends them a twatter message to inform them and the world that he was right. Tumpy Tump can't walk up or down steps, so employs a small group of Rusky women to travel with him everywhere he goes. They pick him up and carry him up and down any steps, stairs, or curbs that he encounters. But that is all they do for him. Nothing else, just that. He has restarted the old war at the southern front and built a large wall to keep what he describes as raping, murdering aliens out. As the days go past, Dookie gets a message from Joey in the little town of Light where he left most of his old warrior unit. The message is simple: 200 booked in. Duncan and Dookie can't believe it. 200 soldiers in, just like that. And Dookie knows if Joey is putting up 200 soldiers, they'll be decently trained. The pair beam massive grins for days. A few of the Dragon Valley locals offer up their services to assist in the mission. One donates sat phones and radios. Another secures a sea crossing on a tanker to the southern lands just below the new border wall. With all the prep work done and dusted, Vin back in Dragon Valley and Dookie in a little better shape, the small team head off to sea and war. So I'm going to leave the bit of the book there, and I'm going to go into a couple more of the little bios, like I did on Tumpy Tump and Duncan, so you get a little flavour of what else is in the book without me ruining the story for you. Because there is a story, I promise. It's not all dribble. I haven't put any of the big main characters in, because I don't want to ruin them for you, because they are nuts, and they're fun, okay? But I'm going to start with Die the Dastardly Dick. Die the Dastardly Dick rears his head in Section 2, the Snowflake Rebellion. So, Making his fortune over the past 30 years selling socks and willy warmers to retailers worldwide, he sold his business off suddenly right before Helmart announced him as CEO. Helmart staff, shareholders and customers alike were hopeful with his appointment at the head of the company. Tale of the tape. He's 5'11". He is a carnivore. He's married with 3 kids. 2 aren't his, but shh, he doesn't really know. Penis name, Graham. Yeah, that tickled me as well. In brief, since selling his company, he has distanced himself from friends and family who now don't even recognise the grim figure of a man who stands before them. He now makes so much money as head of Helmart, he has his favourite morning cup of tea blended and flown in each day, 1 cup at a time, from India. So that's enough about Mr. Dick. There is quite a lot about Mr. Dick in section 2. We're going to look at a couple of Dookie's core buddies. One we met in a little bit I read to you earlier. I'm going to start with Baron, and he is part of the group called the Fat Boys. So he's a nice guy, but he was raised in a cult for the first 15 years of his life. Although he escaped, he still believes magic men once wandered the earth. He has since joined a faith club. Unfortunately, he doesn't realise the cult he escaped from funded the club. His tale of the tape. He's 5'8". His penis name, oh no, marriage first please. Hobbies, shooting his 12 gauge. Joey. He's a former paramedic that got sick of dealing with pissheads and junkies all the time, so joined up to see if he could make a difference in the world. His tale of the tape is 6'1", penis name, hasn't got one because he's just a normal guy. There are a few. Yeah? Hobbies, watching TV. Now then, we're going to meet a snowflake, just so you know how wild the book does get. This guy is called Gatlin. So here goes. This cracker motherfucker is off the chain. Raised by the original OG the gangsters all sing about, this lily white badass was capping 9s at age 6 and down in 40s by his 10th birthday. Mind you, Snoop Dogg did host his 10th. And after that bong, young Get didn't have a clue what was going on. Till he finally got up in that sticky icky icky. Yep, syrup, sponge and custard, bitches. Snoop still holds out hope he will be around to witness Gatlin pop his cherry. But time's running out, now Get's hitting his 30s. Tale of the tape, he's just 5 foot tall. He is depressed. He should have been a hipster, but he couldn't grow the beard. His hero is SpongeBob. He's not sure, but he thinks he likes bum fun. Penis name, what's the point? Weapons, chopsticks. Training, judo, and he's an albino belt. After the OG died, Gatlin invested his inherited fortune in what he thought was a new boy band, ISIS. As if they couldn't get mentioned. Turns out he fucked that up. HMRC took the mansions, the boats, the plane, and the lands. The hoes and the bros all left. But, cleared of any terror activities, Gatlin now lives like a monk with a short fuse and a kinky obsession for trolleys. So I hope I haven't ruined the rest of the story for you. There is a story, I do promise. And I'm working on the sequel, so keep your eyes out for that one as well, alright? I hope that was okay.
We will now have a short intermission so you can mingle, get refreshments, and hopefully buy some books. And hope you'll stay for the second half, because Mr. Greenslade is going to entertain you. We've got some more films and we've got some music. So